In this quick video guide, we're going to explore a little bit what is modeling in Blender using vertices. Now, if you are interested in polygonal modeling, you will find a lot of video guides in the channel and also a video course in Blender explaining everything from the beginning. But in this video, we're going to cover just the part concerning the vertices and how we can use some extra tools. So in polygonal modeling, we need to switch from object mode into edit mode. This is the way we can select the faces, the edges, and of course the vertices. So once you can access the vertices, you can change the position of those and start to create some different objects. Now, of course, the more complex is your object, the more vertices you're gonna need. So to do this, we can do it many ways. We can insert loop cuts to cut the geometry, or we can use also the selection of the faces here. So we can select all the faces and right click and we can subdivide. So this is going to generate more and more subdivisions, which means more polygons. Now, the more subdivisions we have, the more polygons we have, the more vertices we have, and the more we can play with the soft polygonal modeling, or we can create like curvy surfaces and more organic shapes. To do this, we can use the proportional editing. So if proportional editing is off, I will only be able to move 1 point. So I can create something really hard-edged like this. But if I want to make things a little bit smoother, I need more polygons, I need more surfaces, and I can use this one here, which is proportional editing. So you can see this is not affecting only the polygon we are selecting, but it's affecting an entire area. And you can define down here the amount of other faces or the other surfaces or points that you want to influence. So you can change this. You can also change the way you want to influence this using sphere or using like linear, which is going to be more straight. You can use sharp. So you can see that you have different effects. And that's a way we can start to work with more complex surfaces. So I'm going to copy this and I want to move here and let's increase even more. So let's select again all the faces, right click and continue to subdivide. So the more you want curves, the more subdivisions you will need. And the more this proportional editing will come handy. So let me see here what else we have. Now we cannot do much with vertices. In general, we work more with the edges or faces. But if we go down here, you find some extra tools here that can be useful also with the vertices. So this one here is randomize. So if I select my vertices, if I want to select like a group of vertices, I can do the select box, or I can use also the select circle, which is kind of like painting on the objects like this. So if I want to work and randomize this, we can select it and then click and drag, and it's gonna, you can see, randomize the position of those vertices, and then you can adjust here a little bit, and you can choose a different seed, and you can see again it looks really edgy. But if I want, I can use also the smooth, which is going to smooth things out a little bit. So if you don't want neat and flat surface, you want to have some, kind of a noise effect, you can use the randomize. And if you want like something more smooth, you can use the smooth. Now, if we exit, you can see that this looks a little bit faceted. So if we right click and do shade smooth, you're gonna see that it's gonna look more smooth. And you can also try with auto smooth if you want to do something in between. Okay, now let's copy this again. Let's continue with other features, and let's see what we can do here. The next one is the vertex slide, which is similar to the edge slide. So nothing fancy, you just can change the position of a vertex without affecting the shape. So you are not like moving the vertices, you're just placing it in a different position on that face. If you move it, it's going to be a little bit different, especially if you have proportional editing. So if you push this, you can see how it's affecting all the area. So let's just decrease this and see that it gets smaller and smaller, and then it's only gonna affect that single vertex. So sliding is completely different from the other one, the moving. And then we have shrink and flatten. So you can see I've created some sort of bump here. So if I select again this area, there you go. So I go here, I can shrink or flatten. So if we click this, you can see this is trying to flatten that part, but it's also using the, again, proportional editing. So if you turn it off, it's only going to work on that. It's trying to shrink and to flatten that. And you can also use push and pull. So you can see it's pushing and pulling inside those vertices. Now, usually these work better with the proportional editing. So it's gonna affect the whole area there. It's not gonna create like two things that are too stretched. And then the rest, is just to just play around and see what they do. Now, this other one is to spherify. So this one here creates the actual effect of a sphere. Now, it depends also how the points are placed and located. So if I use these points right here, for example, it's going to have like something way different. So if I use this and also this one here, I'm not using symmetry right now, but I can also use symmetry in polygonal modeling and just not doing it right now. So if I spherify or use sphere, is gonna like, um, create it's kind of inflating that area. And again, you can change the proportional editing if you want. Also here, you can use sphere. And that's just, another effect. The last one we're gonna see is rip region, which is to rip apart a part of your model. So you can see I'm clicking and I am ripping out. So I'm creating a hole basically. And I can enlarge this hole by just moving this other point. Let me turn off the proportional editing. There you go. So this could be sometime a mistake. So how you fix this? You can merge. So you can select the first one, you can select the second one, you can right click, and you can go to merge vertices. So right here. And in this case, we can do like a last. So it's gonna merge to the last point that you selected. And of course, then we can place this back. So these are just examples again of the various possibilities that you have in Blender using polygonal modeling. And in this case in particular, we use the vertex modeling. You can see how we can work and create some more organic effects. So this will be all for this video guide. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, check our other video guides and the courses that we have in the channel. If you want to thank us, support us, please join the channel as a supporter. Thanks for watching and see you in the next.